Good afternoon, dear students. Previous class we learnt about land and land use and land use pattern also. See, we came to know that the population and technology these are the important determinants of a land use pattern, including the physical factors and as well as human factors. And also land classified into two on the basis of ownership. So private land and community land. See, in this class we are going to learn about conservation of land resources. Conservation of land resources. See, growing population and their ever growing demand has led to a large scale destruction of forest cover and arable land and has created a fear of losing these natural resources. See, we know that we studied already, every one of us, we know well the availability of land is limited. So the entire the earth surface, no, it's not land. So only the 30% of the land that also included all different kinds of land. It is included forest, deserts, and so on so things. See, and even we know that the quality of the land also differ one place to another place. The quality of the land. See here, the population of the population of the world, it's growing every day. So day by day increasing the number of population almost in the entire world. See, because of the growing population and their ever growing demand has led to a large scale destructions of forest cover and arable land and has created a fear of losing these natural resources. See, especially human beings. So to fulfill their requires to get satisfaction, so they were completely now go through the destruction of a forest cover and arable land. So now it has already created a fear of losing these natural resources where we should go. So therefore, the present rate of degradation of land must be checked. The present rate of degradation of land, it must be checked. So how can we conserve the land, or how can, because of course dear students, so there is no doubt we cannot increase the area or what we call the entire lands. We cannot, because the availability of the land is limited. So dear students, so because of a growing population, the demand has led to a large scale destruction of a forest, and already we know that we cannot increase the land area also, because the availability of land is limited. It's completely limited. We cannot extend even. See, in this condition, the present rate of degradation of land must be checked. So otherwise, it's treat the environment entirely, and it is going to be effect on the entire nature also. Already we are suffering because of this. See, how can we conserve the land? How can we check the land? In what ways we can? Of course, dear students, we cannot stop the growing population. And also the same time, we cannot increase the availability of the land also. So in this condition, how can we conserve the land? So there are some of the ways to conserve the land. So such as afforestation. So this is one of the major step to conserve the land. And after that, land reclamation. Land reclamation. See, through the land reclamations, that means what we call in Kannada, ಸುಧಾರಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ತರೋದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ, ಭೂ ಸುಧಾರಣೆಗಳು. So, regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers. Actually, the use of chemical pesticides and even the fertilizers also is completely effect on the land. So we must be stopped. Then you may raise the question, sir, what we should do then? Of course, dear students, we all of you knows that. So our ancestors are in the early period or before the Green Revolution, in the most of in our subcontinent or even the different part of the world also. So they were never used, especially in our country, they never used the chemical pesticides and fertilizers. They were practiced the organic agricultural system. ಸಾಂಪ್ರದಾಯಿಕವಾದಂತಹ ಸಾವಯವ ಬೇಸಾಯ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯನ್ನ ಅವರು ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. See, and also we must stop the overgrazing, and even so by planting we can control and we can conserve the land resources. So dear students, so these are so some of the methods which we can go through to control the land degradation or the conservation of land in these ways: afforestation, land reclamation, and regulated use of chemical pesticides and then fertilizers, and checks on overgrazing are some of the common. So these are all some of the common methods so used to conserve our land resources. I hope, dear students, you all of you understood. So the some of the methods to conserve the land resources. Now let us discuss about soil. See, the soil, that also we often know that sir ಏನು ಬಿಡ್ರಿ ಸರ್ ಮಣ್ಣು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದೇ ಅಂತ. So there we can see the varieties of soil. Understood now? The variety of soil in a different region. So now we'll see some basic information about the soil. See, the thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth, that is called soil. It is the thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth, that is soil. See, dear students, it is closely linked to land. Then whether it is closely linked to ocean or rivers. So landforms determine the types of soil. So how the soil, I mean the types of soil are, so it's completely determined by the landforms. So the landforms determine the types of soil. So soil is made up of organic matter, minerals and weathered rocks found on the earth. So in this the soil is made up. So it's completely made up of organic matter, minerals and weathered rocks on the earth. So this happens through the process of weathering. This happens through the process of weathering. The right mix of minerals and organic matters make the soil fertile. So we used to say this soil is not fertile, infertile. It's not suitable for growing different crops and so on. So see how we are going to actually the soil fertility. It is completely depend upon the mix of minerals and organic matter. And I told that this happens through the process of weathering. Then what is the meaning of weathering? What is the meaning of weathering? Weathering means what? See, the breaking up and decay of exposed rocks by temperature changes, frost action, plants, animals, and human activity. All this continuous process is called as weathering. So, the soil is made up of organic matter, minerals, and weathered rocks found on Earth, and this happens through the process of weathering. So, where we can see the breaking off and decay of exposed rocks by temperature changes, frost action, plants, animals, and even so through human activities also. Now, let us discuss about the factors of soil formation. So, what are the factors? See, the major factors of soil formation. See, the major factors of soil formation are the nature of the parent rock and climatic factors. So, these are the major factors of soil formation. The parent rock and climatic factors. And including this major parent rock and climatic factors. Climatic factors. So including these, so there are other factors also such as topography, a role of organic material, and even the time taken for the composition of soil formation. So these are all actually differ from one place to another place. It's a completely differ one place to another place. So here you have to keep in your mind the major factors of a soil formation or the nature of the parent rock and the climatic factors. Understood now. So the climatic factors and other factors are the topography, role of organic material and time also. I mean time taken for the composition of a soil formation. So all these differ from place to place. Now let us see the major factors of soil formation through the small concept map. formation of soil. So the first, the two things, parent rock. This is one of the major factor. So under this parent rock, so what and all is there? There are so many other. So especially it's the parent rock. So its color, it actually the parent rock determines color and also texture. Okay, so color, texture, and chemical properties. Chemical properties and also mineral and content permeability. Content. So these are all about determined by parent rocks. So the parent rock determines color also, texture, mineral and chemical properties and content permeability also. Content permeability. So these are all actually the parent rock determines all these things. And let us see the another one major factor which has played a vital role in the formation of soil. That is about climatic factors. Climatic factors. So, what are the climatic factors which are played a vital role in the formation of soil? So, the climatic factors such as climate, getting now. So that only what we called the instead of that we can say that temperature. So temperature of that region and rainfall rainfall influence, and even a rate of rate of weathering, and afterwards humus formation. So these are all some of the climatic factors which are playing vital role in the formation of soil. Got it now? So these are the major factors of soil formation. That is about the parent rock, such as the parent rock determines the mineral, color, texture, chemical properties, and even the content permeability also. And the climatic factors such as temperature, humus formation, and rate of weathering and rainfall influence also determines. So these are all some of the climatic factors which are playing a vital role in the formation of soil. soil formation. Then the remaining, including this, so there are the topography and the role of organic material and even the time also taken to the composition of soil for formation. So these are all actually differ from one place to another place. Now some of the other factors such as relief. Okay. So here altitude and slope, altitude and slope and determine accumulation of soil, accumulation of soil. Okay. Then after, so flora, fauna and microorganisms. Flora, fauna and microorganisms. So this flora, fauna and microorganisms also affect the rate of humus formation. And so already we know that the time is very much important. Time. Because the time determines thickness of soil profile. Got it, dear students? So the time determines thickness of soil profile. So these are all actually the factors of soil formation, such as climatic factors such as temperature, humus formation, rate of weathering, and rainfall influence. And the parent track determines especially the color, texture, mineral, and even the chemical properties and content permeability, and also the relief, such as the altitude and slope, determine the accumulation of soil. And also the flora, fauna, natural vegetation, and even the wildlife, including human beings, and also microorganisms microorganisms affect the rate of humus formation. And after that, dear students, so the time, it is one of the very much important because time determines thickness of soil profile. I hope, dear students, so you are all of you understood about the different factors of soil formation. And the next class we are going to discuss about soil profile. Thank you. Have a nice day.